Right now on CBS 12 News this morning at 6, Martin County parents outraged over this photo, and they're now calling on school board members to take action.
What we saw wasn't racism. It was beyond racism. It was terrorism.
What we know about the investigation into this racial slur that has parents on edge this morning.
And dozens of parents fighting for a place to send their kids off to school next year.
And this was our sanctuary. It was literally our happy place.
The lawsuit now giving us answers about why the school is closing its doors, leaving hundreds of students with nowhere to go.
And a nice clear start to our morning. We're going to talk about when rain could be moving in later today.
It's a new day. This is CBS 12 News This Morning.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for starting your Wednesday with us. I'm Sam Kerrigan.
And I'm Matt Lincoln, taking a live look outside right now. We do know that the launch we've been telling you about this morning has been pushed back a little bit, a little closer to 7 o'clock. Still hoping we can get it off this morning. Let's get right to meteorologist Lauren Oleski here with a look outside. So you said it before last hour, there was a chance of the cloud in the area, possibly this getting postponed, and that's what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, so when they set the time for this launch, they set a window between 6:20, I think it was, and 10 o'clock this morning. So it can happen any time within that frame, and we've already seen it get pushed back to 6:59 now. Clear skies out there for us this morning, though. Storm track radar currently dry. Looking good out of over the airport as well. Out of PBIA, it's 74 degrees in West Palm Beach right now. That dew point temperature close to 70. It's very sticky outside this morning. That humidity is going to make it feel even hotter than it actually is, and this is what we're dealing with today. That heat index will climb as we move throughout your morning and afternoon. Highs for today are in the upper 80s to around 90. Nowhere near the records, but still hot and a little above average out there today. We'll talk more about the rest of your day and week, all still ahead. Matt, Sam.
Thanks, Lauren. 6:02 now. On-time traffic. We're looking good here in Indian River County. If you're hopping on I-95 near Vero Beach, we are not tracking any issues for your drive.
These children should be prosecuted to the fullest of the law. There's no getting around this. It's blatant. You can see who they are. There's nobody to question.
This morning, Martin County parents furious as investigators look into this controversial photo posted online from students at Hidden Oaks Middle School in Palm City. Take a look here. Students holding these large letters, to spell out a racial slur outside the school. We are told the photo was taken after an art project where the students were asked to make the letters. And CBS 12's Kara Duffy live outside the school in Palm City. Kara, parents are calling on school leaders right now to take action.
That's right, Matt. Parents packed last night's school board meeting. They were angry, very hurt, and demanding that school board members take action against those students involved. Again, this here is the photo that is at the center of controversy and now the center of an investigation. Blocked out are the 6 faces of the middle school students and the racial slur they're displaying. The image was first brought to the attention of the school district by a parent of a student who attends here at Hidden Oaks Middle School in Palm City. Here's what some of the parents had to say once it surfaced.
The R on the end is blood. How do I know these children were not sitting at home thinking about coming to school doing a mass murder on these children?
Our schools clearly have not properly established how wrong this behavior is to children who are certainly old enough to comprehend the issues at hand.
Officials with the Martin County School District say they have zero tolerance for discrimination. A spokesperson for the district called the photo disgusting and said it goes against everything they stand for. Now it's still unclear what action will be taken against the students in the photo, but with just 1 week left in the school year, it is possible that the kids could face punishment when they return to school next year. Matt, Sam, back to you.
And Kara, just 2 counties south of there, another disturbing discovery inside a Broward County school last week. We are just getting these images you see behind me here with several swastikas drawn all over the walls inside the bathroom at Western High School in Davie. Custodians have since removed them, but right now police are investigating who is responsible for the incident. And this morning we are getting a statement from the school district that reads in part, quote, Broward County Public Schools do not tolerate displays of bigotry and hate and is committed to educating students about the profound impact of bias.
And those two incidents in South Florida, following what was a deadly weekend of mass shootings in our country predicated on hate. This morning, the community in Buffalo continues to mourn the 10 lives lost at a grocery store over the weekend.
The president and the first lady met with the families of the victims and spoke to that community yesterday.
And RJ O'Brien's at the live desk for us this morning. The president condemned the suspects' ties to white supremacy.
Yeah, that's exactly right, guys. The president is back in Washington this morning after that visit yesterday. He tweeted this image that I wanted to show you of him and the first lady paying their respects, outside of that Tops grocery store in Buffalo. This, by the way, this wall you can see is the grocery store. The parking lot that you've seen on TV is over here in the image. President Biden in Buffalo in his remarks yesterday calling on Americans to reject racism and called white supremacy a poison in this country. The president's visit just days after an 18-year-old gunman walked into that grocery store carrying an assault rifle, firing 50 rounds, killing 10 people and wounding 3. Police are now following a long trail of evidence, including the suspect's posts on social media and a long manifesto, which authorities say shows this attack was meticulously planned. The suspect's apparent motive: to kill as many black people as possible in that store. Yesterday, the president getting emotional, reading off the names of those victims who were killed just because of the color of their skin.
Andre McNeil, 53, worked at a restaurant. Went to buy his 3-year-old son a birthday cake. His son's selling a birthday. Ask him, where's daddy?
The president honoring each victim in his remarks yesterday, listing all of their names. Today, following that presidential visit, investigators in the city of Buffalo have a lot of work cut out for them. By all accounts, there is a mountain of evidence to go through, both physical and online. The gunman has a pre-trial felony hearing tomorrow. Right now, he faces just one murder charge, but it's expected he'll face a lot more before this is all over. Matt and Sam.
AJ, really emotional watching the president go through each one of those 10 victims. And this morning, we continue to hear from Parkland parents over the shooting in Buffalo. Since the Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School shooting, parents of the victims have been outspoken every time there is a mass shooting. Andrew Pollock, who lost his son Meadow in the shooting, tweeted in part, quote, "I've seen this up close and personal, yet the laws on the books aren't the problem. The problem is that the laws are not enforced." Fred Guttenberg, whose daughter Jamie died in the shooting, said the problem is with the system.
4 years later, those parents are still looking for justice as the sentencing trial for the Parkland school shooter continues moving slowly. Jury selection just picked back up this week after a 2-week delay. The judge hopes to have 150 potential jurors to choose from, but right now there are only 15, so this process could take weeks. The panel of 20 jurors, 12 making the decision and 8 alternates, will recommend to the judge if Nikolas Cruz should get the death penalty or life in prison. Cruz pleaded guilty last year to killing 17 people at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School back in 2018. Jury selection continues at 9 o'clock this morning.
And this morning, parents in Boynton Beach still do not know where they are going to send their kids off to school for the next year. St. Joseph's Episcopal School is being kicked out after the church did not renew the school's lease. In a lawsuit, attorneys for the school board say the church is evicting them over the district's mask mandate last year. A parent who has a son in kindergarten very upset about this issue.
You hear this like disagreements over a mask. It just was incredibly sad for this political stuff to come within our little sanctuary of my school. This should always be a school, and it should remain that way forever.
A spokesperson for the church tells us they were willing to extend the lease through the next school year, but the school board is not willing to drop the lawsuit.
6:09 right now. This morning, more good news about that miraculous plane landing at Palm Beach International Airport that is still making national headlines. We now know the pilot who had a medical problem during the flight is out of the hospital. Doctors tell us the pilot had a serious tear in one of his heart's main arteries. A passenger on the plane with no flight experience was forced to land the plane with the help of an air traffic controller. Tomorrow, CBS 12 News will be speaking with the surgeon who saved the pilot's life. We'll have that interview for you on CBS 12 News at 5 p.m.
And also this morning, we're getting answers to who the person was heard in the rubble when the Champlain Tower South collapsed nearly a year ago. Do you remember that? In our reporting, we were talking about how first responders there kept hearing a voice inside that rubble. That's what was giving them hope that there were survivors in there. Well, a new memo from Miami-Dade Fire Rescue says that person was Teresa Velasquez. She flew from Los Angeles to Miami to visit her parents, who also died in the collapse. Authorities were able to identify the voice after 2 months of interviews with crews who had worked on the site. And the memo refutes what was a USA Today investigation that said there was a voice in there, but it was from a 14-year-old girl who was visiting from Colombia. The memo says rescuers reported hearing the voice of a woman and not a young girl, and that the woman did not have a Spanish accent. Right now, investigators are still looking into what caused the collapse, where 98 people lost their lives.
6:10 is the time now. The baby formula shortage hitting a critical level, leaving parents looking for formula online. Coming up next, the red flags you need to know about to avoid getting scammed.
And one of the biggest sports nights we've ever seen in South Florida. Heat, Panthers hosting playoff games at the same time. We'll tell you which one of those teams is waking up happy this morning. Coming up.
And before we head to break, here's a live look in Port Canaveral, where SpaceX's launch just got pushed back until 6:59 this morning. Stay with us here on CBS 12 News this morning, the one to turn to.